Renowned billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban has made his mark in two significant domains. Firstly, his impactful presence spanned 12 years as an outspoken yet philanthropic figure on Shark Tank, a renowned business television series where he invested close to $30 million across numerous startups. Secondly, as an NBA team owner, Cuban's vociferous demeanor has established him as a constant courtside presence since acquiring the vast majority of the Dallas Mavericks back in 2000. However, in recent days, the 65-year-old tycoon, valued at an estimated $6.2 billion by Forbes, has generated buzz by revealing unexpected plans to step away from both endeavors. Cuban disclosed on a recent podcast that he intends to depart from Shark Tank following the conclusion of its 16th season on ABC, confirming earlier hints conveyed to Forbes. Simultaneously, reports surface suggesting Cuban is in talks to sell a majority share of the Mavericks to fellow billionaire Miriam Adelson and the Adelson family. Initially procured by Cuban for 85% at $280 million in 2000, the sports team is projected to be valued at approximately $3.5 billion. While Cuban plans to offload most of his stake, he intends to retain partial ownership and maintain complete authority over the team's basketball operations, as reported by multiple sources. New owners already seem focused on business. Las Vegas Sands Corp said in a regulatory filing that Adelson is selling $2 billion of stock in the company to fund the deal. Sands Corp hopes to develop a casino and arena complex in the city, should Texas legalize casinos. The NBA deal is expected to close sometime later this year. For those scoring at home, that's Adelson in, Cuban out. But that's not how Mavericks work. Shortly after news of the sale broke, The Athletic reported that Cuban would continue to serve as the franchise's head of basketball operations, becoming the rare owner who sells his majority share but remains in command. Had Cuban somehow pulled off the magic trick of selling most of the Mavericks, increasing his net worth by $700 million in the process, without giving up his place at the top of the org chart. Adelson and her son-in-law Patrick Dumont, the president of Sands, soon poured cold water on the idea, saying in a statement that the Adelson and Dumont families had entered into binding purchase agreements to acquire majority ownership and the right to serve as governor of the Dallas Mavericks. If Cuban sells a majority share of the Mavericks, in other words, he will no longer be in command. He may retain some part of the team. He may get to run basketball operations, at least at the outset, but he will serve the behest of the team's new owners, the Adelson and Dumont families. In recent years, the NBA has tried to de-emphasize the term owner, which comes with uncomfortable racial overtones, in favor of governor to describe the people who own its franchises. Whatever you call them, they are, by rule, the people with a controlling interest, as in more than 50% in a team. That's who gets to be in a room or choose the person who is when the NBA's Board of Governors meets. That's how majority sales work. And if those owners approve the Mavericks sale by a 3/4 majority, then it will be up to Adelson and Dumont, who sits in the team's chair at the next meeting. All signs point to Dumont, the Sands executive who has been pushing the company to diversify its holdings beyond casinos. It's still uncertain how it'll all work out. It seems tough to imagine Cuban becoming a bit part player at the NBA franchise he helped rebuild. But if you sell something, then you don't own it anymore. There is a sneaking feeling that maybe Cuban has signed the deal of the century. He bought the team in 2000 for $285 million. It's now worth about $3.5 billion. If he gets to run ops, he could still sit courtside, get fined $250,000 for several acts of misconduct, and get someone to pick up the bill.